James Thomas, Morning Blend. I'm here with Glen Mazzara. He's the co-showrunner and executive producer for Beacon 23 on MGM Plus. How are you today?
Good. How are you? Thanks
I'm
for
doing,
thanks for your time.
thank you. So first of all, let's talk about season one first. Let's tell that little
Sure.
story real quick.
In season one, Lena Headey's character and Stephan James are trapped together on what turns out to be a lighthouse on the edge of the galaxy. They each have secrets. There's a larger conspiracy going on, and the show is really starts off as a thriller in space, very different from other sci-fi elements. And then, it's about how are these characters who are desperate, who are thrown together, who are trying to find meaning in this vast universe, how do they come together and realize that they need each other to survive? So we did 8 episodes. They're on MGM Plus. Season two comes out in April, and I'm just very proud of both seasons.
You know, what you just described to me sounds like what's going on in the world today, but that's another story.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty
yeah,
much. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Without giving us too much away, let's talk about season two and what we might expect or can't expect.
Well, season two builds on the foundation of season one, and so when you're doing a genre show, a science fiction show like this, a lot of season one is about establishing the rules of the world. Who knows what? How do things work? A lot of questions of world building. You kind of have to define what is the show. Once that's done, you can expand on that, but you can also push deeper into the characters. So this is really a study of Stefan's character, Halan. We'll learn more about Lena's character, Aster, and really kind of, continue their story by pushing deeper into their psychologies. Yes, we still have a lot of great space adventure and thrills and all of that. That's always a part of the show. But I see the show as a character study because we have terrific actors and they really rose to the occasion for the material. So we were, just lucky to have them.
You know, Glenn, I do my own TV show and I love being executive producer and host. I want to talk about you a bit, Glenn, in doing this Beacon 23. I know you get a paycheck, it's a job, but how much are you really into it? How much do you love it? How do you like the whole idea of this whole thing?
All right, that's very interesting. I'm so glad you asked that. Okay, I'm so glad you asked that because I can really speak to that from the heart. So when I originally signed on to this show, okay, I'll be honest. We've come in. It was during the pandemic, and I needed a gig. You know, and you go onto the show. I read the script. I thought it was terrific. These are big actors. Boat Rocker is the studio. They put a fortune into making this look good. So it had all the elements. Um, but it wasn't a show that I conceived that I had been living with. I hadn't read the novel yet. So, but it was very interesting to me. And then you start working on it, and and you end up falling in love. I really can honestly say that Beacon 23 was one of the most um, um, creative shows I've ever worked on because a lot of it is you have only a few characters in there. They're in a lighthouse setting. Okay, how do you make an episode out of that? So you build a lot of it in post. You spend a lot of time asking questions. You really kind of have to think about yourself as an artist. What do you want to say? You're given this opportunity. I think artists have a social responsibility with the question, with what we're putting out there, how we portray people, how people see each other. This affects the audience. So I take these questions very seriously. And so when we are, you know, trying to say, well, okay, how can we make this work? How do we make this better? How do we make this great? The whole team came together. I had a fantastic post team. The cast was fantastic. The crew, the composers, the sound people, everybody, and it was really an incredibly rewarding experience. So this one snuck up on me a little bit, and at one point I felt like maybe I was trapped on the beacon myself. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm so proud of it, and I think working alongside the people that I was working with brought me a lot of joy, and I'm very proud of it. And I'm not just telling you that because it's a good PR answer or something. This one's for real. I really this one's one of my babies, and I love it, and I can't wait for the audience to see season two.
Last question. There's Roddenberry, Asimov. Who's your favorite sci-fi author?
You know what? That is a great question. Okay, because I have read a lot of sci-fi, and I think I'm going to go with Harlan Ellison. Okay, I've read the guys you're talking about, but and Roddenberry, obviously, I am more of I am a huge Star Trek fan, so that's a good one. But I think Harlan Ellison does it for me a lot of times. I can kind of sit in that world and go back to him a lot. So I'll say that.
Okay. Glen Mazzara, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Glenn. I appreciate it talking about MGM Plus's Beacon 23. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you very much.